Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I have some finished pieces of jewelry that I wanted to share with you all today that I made from the most recent bargain bead box, the Mountain Majesties collection. I'll leave a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below to the unboxing video I did for this subscription in case you want to go back and watch it. But in case you're not familiar, the bargain bead box is a monthly subscription of beads and findings. It's $22.99 a month, and that includes shipping in the United States. They have beautiful beads and findings. It's always curated around a different theme each month. And if you're a subscriber to the bargain bead box, you get a 30% off coupon to use in their sister store, Bead Box Bargains. And you can use it as many times as you want to during the month, and they already have great prices. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa2, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon code will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. The first necklace that I made here, and I have got, I think, 6 necklaces, 3 bracelets, and a pair of earrings. I think that's what I counted. So that's 10 pieces I think I've made here. So I've got a lot of jewelry that I've made out of this box. And this first one, I did a tutorial on this, and I used the 30mm Fancy Jasper donut pendant, and I did a peyote herringbone triangle bell and connected it to the pendant here, and then I just put it on some chain and put a little lobster clasp and some extender chain and a little leaf dangle off the extender chain there. And like I said, I did a tutorial on this one, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below too, in case you want to go back and watch that. So hold on, I'll get the next piece. Okay, this is a necklace and earring set that I made, and I did a tutorial on this too, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below too. I used the 27.5 by 25mm stainless steel laser cut pendant, and I used a few links of the paperclip chain that came in the box and hung it off the bottom here for my pendant, for my focal. I used some of the 10mm lava stone electroplated beads in rainbow iris and some bead caps from my stash. And I used the 8mm glass rondelle beads opaque purple with some bead caps from my stash. And I just did wire wrapped links and connected them together. And then on the back here, I did some more, added some more of the paperclip chain, a lobster clasp, a little bit more of the paperclip chain as an extender. And there were 4 12.5mm round mountain charms, and I used 2 of them on these earrings here. The earrings have 2 of the lava beads and 2 of the rondelle beads with bead caps, and I did, let's see here, I don't remember, it's been a while. I did wire wrapped links and connected them together, and I hung the mountain charm off the bottom here and put them on some fishhook ear wires. And I had 2 of the mountain charms left, but they weren't double-sided, so I glued 2 of them together to make a double-sided charm to hang off my extender chain there. So that's that one. Like I said, I did a tutorial on this one, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below. So hold on, I'll get the next piece. This is my next necklace, and I did a tutorial on this one too, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below too. I used the carabiner clasp that came in the front here as a focal, and then I did wire wrapped loops with the 6mm Fancy Jasper round beads and the 8mm Fancy Jasper matte round beads. I did wire wrapped links and connected them together, and then I hung one of the compass charms, 17 by 15mm laser cut stainless steel compass charms off the bottom here. And then up here I used the 6mm Fancy Jasper beads and the 8mm matte Fancy Jasper beads, and I used one little link of the paperclip chain that came in the box between each one of them, and I connected them with little 4mm jump rings. And then I added a little bit of chain on the back here and a lobster clasp, a little bit more of the paperclip chain as an extender, and I hung one of the little 6mm fancy Jasper round beads off the extender chain as a dangle. So that's that one. Those are the only ones I have tutorials for. The rest of these I don't have tutorials for. So hold on, I'll get the next one. Okay, I tried something different with this necklace. I've never made a necklace like this before. I used the paperclip chain for half of the necklace. And then on the other half, I just did some wire wrapped links with the 8mm fancy Jasper faceted round beads. And then down here, I've got a little 10mm link here that I've used to connect the two halves of the necklace. And then I hung one of the fancy Jasper beads off of it with one of the compass charms here as my focal, and I used some bead caps from my stash. And then I did a lobster clasp and a little bit of the paperclip chain as an extender, and one of the 6mm fancy Jasper beads as a dangle off the extender chain. Like I said, I've never done a necklace like this before, but I decided to try something different. So hold on, let me get the next piece. Okay, this is a necklace and bracelet set that I made, and I used the 8mm fancy Jasper matte beads and alternated between those and the 8mm fancy Jasper faceted beads as the focal here. I put some bead caps from my stash around the matte beads, and I used the bead caps that came in the box around the faceted beads. And then I put a little 11/0 seed beads, silver seed beads, between all the beads to space them out. And I used the 6mm fancy Jasper beads. I used the 4mm crystal bicone beads in green iris that came in the box. The 4mm crystal faceted round beads in cadet blue that came in the box. And I used just a few of these 8mm, I think raspberry was the color of these. These were in the curated bead box for September, I believe. It was the September box these were in. And I just put a few of those in here for a little pop of color with some of the bead caps from my stash around them. And it turned out so long that I didn't feel like I needed to add any chain, so I just put a lobster clasp and a piece of extender chain with one of the bicones as a dangle there. And then I made a bracelet to go with it. All the beads, no, I don't have all the beads that were in the necklace in the bracelet, I don't think. I have the 8mm matte beads and the 8mm faceted beads, the 6mm beads and the 8mm cranberry beads. And then I used one of the 15 by 19mm stainless steel laser cut mountain links here. And then I just did one of the fancy Jasper beads with the bead caps that came in the box on each side of it, and did wire wrapped loop and connected the link to my toggle clasp here like that. And then I did one of the little 4mm cadet blue beads and one of the little 4mm bicones as dangles off of the jump ring here that I connected them with. I guess it does have all the same beads as in the necklace after all. I thought it didn't, but I guess it does. So I made that to go with it to make a set there. So that's that one. Hold on, let me get the next piece. This is a little bracelet that I made that I'm not entirely happy with because it didn't come out as long as I wanted it to be. It's quite tiny. It came out to be finally about 7 inches, but I don't know, it just seems too small to me. But I've got to use some leather here, some 1mm leather, and I used the 12mm glazed porcelain round beads in dark orchid here. And I put the leather through them and practiced my barrel knots. I am not very good at barrel knots. I don't have much experience making them. So I decided I needed to practice. So I did a barrel knot between each of the beads. And then I connected them to this ring here and used a heart charm and an owl charm to dangle off of that. And when I got all these on here with the barrel knots between them, it was not nearly long enough. So I found a large hole kind of decorative spacer bead in my stash and put that there and did barrel knots around it, but it was still not as long as I needed it to be. I did the loop here for my button to go through, and then I did another loop for my button to go through, so it can be adjustable, but I doubt anybody would want to adjust it down to this loop because it would be way too small. I'm afraid it's probably way too small anyway. And I used this little button that I had in my stash. And then I did a couple of little decorative knots, not really decorative, but a couple of little knots here to kind of decorate the ends of the leather there. But like I said, I'm not real happy with this one. It's just, it didn't come out as long as I wanted it to be, and I'm not very good at barrel knots. I need to practice those. I don't dislike them as much as I do wire wrapping. I mean, I don't mind making barrel knots. I'm just not very good at it. So, hold on, let me get the next piece. Okay, this is a 2-strand necklace that I made. And I used the 8mm Fancy Jasper matte beads along the focal area here of the longest strand, and some bead caps from my stash. And I've got some 11/0 silver seed beads spacing out all the beads. And then I used some of the Fancy Jasper tumbled nugget beads here. I used some of the 6mm Fancy Jasper beads here. And then I used some of the 4mm crystal bicone beads in green iris, and the 4mm crystal faceted round beads in cadet blue here at the end. I've got a few little 11/0 seed beads here. And then for the inner strand, for the focal part, I've got 2 of the 8mm matte beads with my bead caps from my stash around them. And I had 1 of the faceted 8mm beads left, and I used it in the very center with the bead caps that came in the box around it. And then I used the bicone beads and the 4mm faceted round beads and the 6mm round beads, and a few 11/0s here at the end. This link here I got in not my most recent BB Craft order, but I think the one before that. I got a big package of links, and that's where that came from. This link I got years ago on a strand from, I believe I got it from Michael's. It was back when I was able to get out and go in stores and shop, and I'm pretty sure I got it from Michael's on a strand of links that they had. I could have put the same link on both sides. I had like 5 of these, and I've got several of these, but I just wanted to do a different link on each side to just kind of make it a little more interesting, I guess. I don't know. And they were pretty much the same size, so I thought that would work out okay. And then I put some chain on the back here, and I used some extender chain, and I put one of the little 4mm bicone beads off the extender chain there as a dangle. So I have got one more bracelet left. Hold on. Okay, this is the very last piece I made. This is a bracelet. I consider it a charm bracelet. I think some people might call it a cha-cha bracelet. I don't know for sure. I used the nugget beads that I had left and did wire wrapped loops. And then I connected them together with jump rings, and I made a bunch of little charms to hang off the jump rings with the 6mm beads that I had left, and the 4mm bicones and the 4mm cadet blue faceted round beads. And I just, on the ones with the bicones and the faceted round beads, I just alternated. Some of them I put the bicone on top, some of them I put the bicone on the bottom. And I just did those all the way around between the wire wrapped links with the nugget beads, and then put a toggle clasp on it. And that was my very last thing that I made. I've still got quite a few of the 8mm glass rondelle beads left, and quite a few of the bicones and the 4mm cadet blue beads left, but that's pretty much all I have left. So hold on, let me see if I can get it all together in one picture, and I'll be back. Okay, I have lifted my camera up as high as I have ever lifted it up before to try to get all these in one picture. And I think I've got most of them mostly in the picture. I don't know. I'll do the little slideshow of pictures at the end like I always do. I know you can't really tell anything from these all bunched up like this and jumbled together like this. But I do believe this box to be a really good value box. I'm always able to get a lot of pieces of jewelry out of a box, as you can see. And I've still got some beads left. I think I counted 10 pieces here. I've got 6 necklaces, 3 bracelets, and 1 pair of earrings. I think I need to make more earrings. I just never do end up with very many pairs of earrings. Everything seems to always turn into a necklace or a bracelet. But like I said, if you're not a subscriber to the Bargain Bead Box and you decide you want to be, that coupon code will save you $2 off your first box. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, hope y'all have a great day. Take care.